For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now, facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion, Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people. To take a stand. On April Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands equal justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's the people versus poison. April 27th in Washington, D.C. For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion. Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's the people versus poison. April 27th in Washington, D.C. For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now, facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion, Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands equal justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's the people versus poison. April 27th in Washington, D.C. For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now, facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion, Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands equal justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's people versus poison. April 27th in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now, facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion, Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands equal justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's people versus poison. April 27th in Washington, D.C.
Monsanto's butt today. So let's go. Let's go. I love it. Okay. You proved it. You're ready. Okay, so Angela Huffman is next. Give it up for Angela. She's the president of Farm Action, and a sixth-generation Ohio farmer, working to hold corporations and government accountable in agriculture. Here we go, Angela.
Inscribed on this great building behind me are these words: Justice, the guardian of liberty. And that's what today is all about. Will the Supreme Court justices act justly? Or will they let their guard down and strip us of our liberty, caving to the monopoly power of Bayer Monsanto? I'm Angela Huffman, and I came from my farm today, Northwest Ohio today, because liberty is on the line. I'm proud to lead Farm Action, where I work with farmers across the country. Farmers have been under the thumb of corporate power and government complicity for too long. Now Bayer wants to sell a product that harms people and not answer for it. That's the case before the Supreme Court right now. I was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer at just 36 years old. So when we talk about exposure and risk, we're talking about what farmers, farm workers, and rural families are living with every day. Across the biggest corn-producing states, younger adults are seeing higher cancer rates than the rest of the country. And that should get our attention. This didn't happen by accident. A handful of corporations built this system. They control the seeds, they control the chemicals. They shape how farmers are expected to operate. They've narrowed our choices and created independence. And now they want even more. They want immunity when their products cause harm. Bayer is working every angle to get special protections from our government. They have pushed immunity bills in 15 states. They're in front of the Supreme Court right now. They're over there pushing this in Congress right now. And while the White House has already stepped in on Bayer's behalf. Right now, Bayer is using its corporate power to scare lawmakers. They're threatening to pull glyphosate off the market. They want people to think that our food supply is at risk if they don't get immunity. But it isn't. And a multinational corporation doesn't get to hold the U.S. food system hostage just to escape accountability. So we say, go home, Bayer! Farmers are fighting back because we're tired of being used as an excuse for corporate power. Bayer's not in there fighting for us. When a company causes harm, we should have the right to fight back. So we're here to tell Bayer and these monopolies, they do not own our government and they do not own our courts. And if our government doesn't agree, then we the people are here to fight for our liberty. Thank you.
Yes. You feeling good? All right, I love Leo myself too. So I can keep introducing the most amazing people. Next we have Deanna Warner right here. She's a nutritionist. She is the best-selling author of the Earth Diet. And she is also a cancer survivor. Give it up. Give her your best round of applause. Liana! Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to the press and thank you for posting to your platforms.
We really need it. We need to get out there. My name is Liana Warner-Gray. I am a nutritionist, a cancer survivor of 17 years, and an American citizen by choice. I am here today to be a voice on behalf of the millions of people who have been diagnosed with cancer and the people who have died because of this toxic chemical, many of which had no idea it was caused by this pesticide. I survived a golf-sized tumor in my lymphatic system, right here, on the right side of my throat. I know that the cancer cells were caused by being systemically burdened by toxic exposure over time. The CDC biomonitoring data has shown that a significant majority of Americans, 80% of adults, and 80% of children have detectable levels of glyphosate in their bodies. This means in their brains as well. This is not confined to agriculture. This is not confined to farms. This is in everyday food supply. As a nutritionist, it breaks me. I sit with clients all the time who did everything right. They ate fruits, vegetables, grains, juices, and other whole foods, only to discover they've been chronically exposed to a toxin that they never consented to ingest. And then surprised how they ended up with a cancer diagnosis. When a corporation releases a chemical into the food supply, with repeated and documented harm, and continues to spike global litigation and biological evidence that crosses a threshold of negligence into reckless disregard for human life. Many would call that corporate murder in slow motion. Why should we have to sugarcoat this anymore? It is what it is. Corporate murder in slow motion, not as an emotional exaggeration, but as a description of systemic preventable loss of life through exposure. In the meantime, while we fight this, armor up. We all have to armor up. Do these 4 things daily to help detox. Number 1, source organic produce from your local farmer or grow your own produce. Yes. Number 2, use a regular toxin binder. I love bentonite clay, which has strong magnetic properties. Number 3, drink liquid chlorophyll every single day, first thing in the morning. It heals and repairs DNA. And number 4, eat 5, 10, 8 apricot seeds every single day to kill any cancer cells in their tracks. Truly, that is God's perfect chemo. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Since 2026, 170,000 people have filed against
Susan
Monsanto.
in the house.
They have paid out $11
Can you hear me,
billion.
Susan?
Conservative findings say that
Are you there?
300,000 to 500,000 Americans
Susan is
may have
on
died
site
from
in
cancers linked to this
Washington, D.C.
chemical. And this is just
lost
one
her
type of
feed there for
cancer,
a second.
non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
So
Not talking about all the other cancers that
go
this
back to the
pesticide,
show
this
so
poison
we
has
can
caused. And lawyers
see
estimate that
if
only
you
1 in
hook
10 to
up
1 in
with
20 affected
Susan
ever file a lawsuit.
soon.
For many
Alright.
people, they're too sick, or it's too late, or they just never knew about this lawsuit. Scripture warns us in Isaiah 10, chapters 1, 2, that woe to those who make unjust laws to deprive the poor of justice and rob my people of their rights. Yeah. One of the 10 commandments given to Moses by God himself in Exodus 20:13, you shall not murder. The people consuming glyphosate contamination are innocent. They don't even know it's contaminated. It's not on the label at all. I urge those who are part of this, the decision makers in the Supreme Court, whether knowingly or unknowingly, to turn away, to repent, to change course while there is still time, because every action that harms innocent life carries a spiritual consequence. And no one is exempt from that accountability. We urge you, decision makers, it's not too late, turn this around and be a hero in this moment in history. Thank you.
We're really just saying no immunity for the guilty. They've already been proven guilty, right? All right. So we have a very special guest coming up. Elizabeth Kucinich is a policy leader and advocate for regenerative organic agriculture who has spent over 2 decades advancing food safety, chemical accountability, and soil health. She stands for the American people, calling for an end to toxic ag systems and a return to life-sustaining, pro-life agriculture. Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to honor all of you for being here. All of you for standing your ground, for making your way to this arguably most powerful city, certainly in America, but maybe in the world. I too am American by choice, but have a strange British accent. My monarch is here today. I would like to give a wonderful call out to King Charles, who happens to also be standing with us, not necessarily officially, but happens to be one of the most articulate and loyal people to the organic regenerative movement, and has been for decades. So if you don't know about King Charles's work, this is an opportunity for you to look into it. I stand here truly, in myself, standing for life. I would like to claim the word life. I want to claim what we are doing here. We are standing for pro-life agriculture, an agriculture that lifts us up, that enables our health, that facilitates the continual development of human beings, and animals, and the land, and all of the plant life. Respect sacred nature of life. Our opportunity here to truly stand together and to make sure that our politicians, our lawmakers, those who represent us, and that we ourselves choose to uphold those principles every single day. Now, you standing here is so important. We can only have a functioning democracy when the demos stands up, and you are here. And I would ask you to please make sure that everybody you know becomes active in this political process. The other side come up here every single day and they lobby. And the staffers who are here, they try to field whatever they can, but many of them are not trained in agriculture, they don't know about ecology, they're not trained in health. Lots of them come from a legal background. So they need people to come up here who know what they're talking about. They need farmers, organic farmers to come here, to be able to express the deep wisdom of understanding the way that ecological systems work, the way that nutrient systems work, the way that we can make sure that our fields are sustainable. I would like to talk to you about contacting your member of Congress. Please do this. This week we're going to have the Farm Bill vote. And I need everybody to phone their member of Congress and say, no to this Farm Bill. This Farm Bill needs to go into the compost heap. It needs to be turned into something beautiful, and let's grow something different from it. So, no to this Farm Bill. When we have got rid of this Farm Bill in the House, we need to then focus on the Farm Bill in the Senate, not yet written. We need to make sure that that Farm Bill in the Senate has all the provisions we want, and it cannot have a liability shield in it. It cannot have an EATS Act architecture which stops states from being able to protect you and us from the chemicals, that stops states from being able to improve animal welfare conditions. We need to make sure that we stop this federal overreach, which is happening under this administration, and quite frankly has happened under all administrations. But now, as has been said before, our movement is bigger and broader than ever. We span all the way from the left to the right, up and down. We are together as human beings, and our opportunity to truly stand together, to forget the labels that people want to call us, to forget the colours that people want to pin to us, but really understand that we are here as a collective whole to stand for life. That's what I'm here. So please make sure that you think about any policy you look at, whether it's agricultural policy, nutrition policy, energy policy. Does it help to protect life? Does it help to advance future generations? Or does it destroy it? If it destroys it, if we don't want it, there's another way. So thank you for being here. Thank you for standing in the sun. The sun gives us the opportunity to create plant sugars and all the nutrients that we need. So make sure you protect yourself. Make sure you're hydrated, just as our soils need to be. Please also, when we fight in the things we don't want, what do we want? We want funding. All this money that's going to war. Genocide is ecocide, and ecocide is genocide. We need to be making sure that our dollars, the tax dollars that we work so hard for, that they are redirected to transition agriculture, that they're redirected to support our families, to support our communities, to support our country. We are here to stand together for that purpose. Make sure that in the next Farm Bill we have farm-to-school programs, because our farmers are dying not only from glyphosate, they're dying from bankruptcy, because this system is a system that constantly extracts from our environment, extracts from our health, and extracts from our farmers is extracting all the resources that it takes to actually create the products on the farm themselves. We need to be supporting our farmers' health, and we need to support them financially as well. So please make sure there's things that really ensure for institutional funding to go to the farmers, not to buy glyphosate, not to buy dicamba, not to buy 2,4-D, not to buy GMO seeds, but to truly enable a functioning food system that supports everybody. Make sure that farm-to-school programs are fully funded. Do you know Secretary Rollins cut $1 billion from the appropriations that were going to go to farm-to-school to make our children, enable our children to have proper locally produced food go into the school. That was cut and redirected. And then they put a handful of dollars back and they label, well, this is a big success in this administration. It is not. I was here at the founding of the Kennedy campaign. I know his heart. I know the
right. Susan is
I know the
in
energy
an
that has
Uber
come into this space.
on
but now
site.
we have to supersede that.
What's
we
up,
need to go
Susan?
beyond it.
This is
we
exciting.
need to go beyond
You know
this
Liam.
administration. We need to
Adventures
call
is what
out
is
what
up.
is happening within this
Adventures
administration
of Susan
and move into
trying
the next
to
one.
park
Move into
and
one that
find her
truly
way
supports
and
life,
park
truly
and
supports
Uber
health,
and almost
truly
there.
supports our
However,
families,
next layer of
our
difficulty
farmers,
is
and
tech
our
issues.
children. Thank
So
you so
I
much.
do have this lovely set of earbuds that we talked about.
Thank you, Elizabeth
However,
Kucinich.
it doesn't seem to work with the phone
All
very
right.
well. So when I
Left
plug it in, I'm still
versus
getting the
poison?
noise.
Right versus poison?
From
No.
the
People
phone, not
versus
through the
poison. People
earbuds.
versus
So I don't
poison.
know how bad
People
that's gonna be for
versus
background
poison.
noise when we
People
are
versus
at the wrap.
poison.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, it could be that you just need to really press.
All right. That's
Are you
right.
able to
We can do
there.
this if we unify
over
together. We're all here to make a difference
yes, I
together.
will
Thank you for
mute
being here. We have a special guest coming up. Cory Booker's in the house.
They should be muted. Are you still
U.S.
hearing
Senator
the?
from New Jersey,
audio?
Cory has dedicated his life to fighting for those who have been left
Are you
out,
still hearing the-
left behind,
the
or left without a
conference?
voice. Let's go, Cory. Give it to us.
That layer of difficulty. I think it's my phone.
It is so good to see everybody out
Can you
here.
hear me?
This movement is
just
growing.
watch
I believe in the
what's going on
people
there for now.
over the corporations.
Yeah, I'm
the
gonna put up the
people
sound.
over
Can you
those
hear
who
the
are
sound of the
poisoning
rally?
us. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. Decades ago, I began my career in Newark, New Jersey, in an inner-city community.
Can you hear
where
that?
I saw my
Yeah?
people
Can you hear
being
the rally?
poisoned in ways that
Okay,
were
good.
utterly horrific.
We'll
Cancer
listen to Cory,
clusters
and you pop in
folks
whenever
that
you
did not
want.
have access to
Yeah, I
fresh,
think let's listen to
healthy
Cory right now.
food.
That seems like
Kids that
the
could go to
focus.
corner grocery stores where they could find a Twinkie product filled with chemicals cheaper than an apple because of a broken system that serves the corporation but is poisoning the people. We began years ago, me and my team, fighting in our neighborhood communities, taking back our spaces, trying to create community gardens. But everywhere we turned, we came up against powerful forces that were continuing to take over a system that used to be focused on health, that used to be focused on farmers, that used to be focused on families, that used to be focused on people. But now our food system is taken over by a handful of corporations that are driving farmers out of business, exploiting farm workers, hurting families, poisoning communities like the one in which I still live. Today's fight in the Supreme Court is one battle, one big battle in a larger war in this country to take back our food system for the people. And let's be clear. Don't let the false narrative of the tribal politics distract you from the truth. This is not a left or right issue. This is a right or wrong issue. This is an issue that belies the failed politics of our president and calls our country to a greater moral imagination, to have a nation that for once and for all we can fulfill our creed, that we would have liberty and justice for everyone could have life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Necessary to those things is a food system that serves us and not the big corporations that are poisoning us. When I came to the Senate, I came with a mission to attack the polluters, to attack the chemical companies, to attack those who are attacking our families and our farmers, and to fight the good fight. I was stunned that these companies spent billions of dollars with armies of lobbyists down here in Washington trying to allow them to do the things that are causing cancer rates to spike throughout our country. I was shocked that they had lobbyists every day fighting in the farm bill to stop us from having a farm bill that's about farmers and people and not big corporations and bigger profits. We are at a point now in our nation where this fight is the crossroads of where our country stands. And the politicians in Washington are going to have to make a choice. Who do they stand with? Do they stand with the people of the United States of America? Or do they stand with the international corporations like Bayer and Monsanto that are literally killing us? Well, I say we stand. We stand with the people. We stand with those who are making our food. They're mixing their soil and their sweat and their spirit together to create hope as well as food. I've traveled the country now meeting with farmers from East Coast to West Coast, up and down New Jersey and across our nation. Our farmers are struggling, often trapped in a system of corporate concentration that is literally driving thousands of farmers off their lands as corporations gobble up our heritage and the land of the free. This is an unacceptable situation. And then that land is being drenched with toxins that are causing farmers and farm workers cancer and illnesses that should be unacceptable in our nation. And then we try to stand up and sue them for the damage and the misery and the suffering and the pain, they come to Washington and try to preempt those people and their actions. That is unacceptable. I say no. That has got to go. We must win this fight. And so in this Supreme Court case, I filed an amicus brief. I was sent here in New Jersey to stand up for the 10 million people of my state. But today we gather together to stand up for all of America. This is a battle in the Supreme Court, but it's also a battle in the Capitol. I see now on the side of the Capitol. They're trying to stick things in the farm bills that would do the corporate bidders work for them. To shove things in the farm bill that would try to stop from having legal standing to sue for their rights. To try to stick things in the farm bill that would protect a broken system that is literally killing people around our country. This is a movement. Today we fight in the Supreme Court, but even after this fight, we have to continue to grow this movement. And I tell you, this movement is not one of hate. It has got to be one fueled by the love that farmers have for their soil, the love that parents have for their children, the love that neighbors have for their neighbors who are suffering from preventable cancers. This has got to be a movement that grows, does not divide, but multiplies. And I love the fact that consciousness is growing in our country. I love the fact that more people are seeing the urgency we have to have foods that are free of toxins and chemicals, to have more access to foods that are fresh and healthy, to support those people that grow and harvest our food, to have a truly just system that works for the people, not for corporate profits. Consciousness is growing in our country. There are more and more people realizing that we have the power to win this fight. If only we can wake more people up, get more folks off the sidelines. Because democracy is not a spectator sport. It demands action and engagement. It demands people standing up every single day and saying the clear, honest truth. The people should control Washington, not corporations and their lobbyists. Justice should prevail in Washington, not the evils of industries that are looking to exploit. That we are a nation that demands to be free. And so it has been decades since I started this fight in a small community in New Jersey. Decades of fighting as a mayor and a city council person. Decades of fighting even sometimes with my own party to make sure that we fight at every turn to give people what should be an American birthright. That everyone should have clean water and clean air. That everyone should have clean, wholesome food for their family. That we should have the power over one of the most sacred things that we do, what we consume, what we eat. We have a long way to go in this battle, but I want to tell everyone who's gathered here on the steps of the Supreme Court, a place that our generations before us, our ancestors came for justice, a place where people marched and fought and protested for justice. I want to tell everyone here who's weary. I want to tell those families who are struggling with a family member that has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or some other rare form of cancer. Those people that use these products that they were told or believed were safe, that were actually making them sick. The mothers who worry that the only option for shopping in their neighborhood are grocery stores filled with chemicals on them. I want to tell you right now not to despair. I want to tell you that if there's true about our history in this country, it is a screaming testimony to the achievement of impossible things against impossible odds. The history of the nation is a history of overcoming forces that wanted to divide us or suppress us. The history of this nation is a history of not people in Washington, but people bringing the fight to Washington and winning time and time again. I want to tell you right now, they may be rich, they may be powerful, they may have armies of lobbyists, but nothing can beat a people united. They will never be defeated. And so today we fight on the steps of the Supreme Court. Tomorrow we take it to the Capitol. We take it to the Capitol. We take it to the State House. We take it to State Houses all around this nation. I believe we shall overcome. I believe the people will win. I believe that the poison in our system can be gotten rid of. And the people truly can one day have a food system that is free at last. Free at last. Thank you, everybody. Let's continue the fight. Let's unite people. Let's bring our nation together. Let's put more indivisible in this one nation under God. Thank you.
DC, channeling Martin Luther King. All right. We have Susan
We just went to church.
At the
All
rally.
right, so next up we have Stephanie Lacricchio. If I pronounced your name wrong, I'm sorry, Stephanie. She is the Senior Advocacy Manager at Children's Health Defense, where she empowers families to use their voices, hold powerful industries accountable, and make informed decisions about their children's health. Thank you, Stephanie. Let's go. Stephanie, let's go.
Hello, everybody. Make some noise. We are here fighting for our children. I am here as a mom, as an activist who is completely fed up with big industry being more important than specifically our children's health. Let's face it. Our children are swimming in toxic from the air that they breathe, to the water that they drink, to the food that is meant to nourish their bodies, and instead is known to be laden with chemicals that are banned in other countries. Why don't our children deserve food that actually nourishes them and makes them healthy? It is time to draw the line in the sand, and that's why we're all here to demand transparency, true informed consent about what goes into the bodies of our children, and the ability to hold big industry accountable, because we already know what industry gets liability. We've all been down that road, and we cannot let it happen again on our watch. So it is time to stand up and to remember that the only
only thing between big industry and our children is all of you. So take a look around and remember when it feels lonely, when it feels hard, when it feels impossible, that there is a massive force of parents, advocates, and people growing every single day that are truly ready to make America healthy again. And it will take each and every one of us being brave, being bold, being willing to stand up and do the hard things and be uncomfortable to make lasting, meaningful change where our children can grow up in a world that is not filled. So when you need a why, think about that. And I want everyone to take out their phones. We have an action alert that is live right now, so you can do something meaningful standing here in front of the Supreme Court. If you text the message PVP, like people versus poison, just the initials PVP, to the phone number 55444. That will immediately give you a text message that will take you through our action alert that's live now on the Children's Health Defense website. These one-click actions are one way to do something. I encourage each and every one of you when you get back to your respective homes, to make phone calls, to set up meetings with your legislators, in their offices and in their faces and in their faces in a polite and let them know that we are not going anywhere. We will not stop until we have access to what a lot of other countries have right now, which is clean food, free from glyphosate, free from toxic chemicals. We deserve better. Our children deserve better. Stay strong and keep it strong. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Susan
We have a
is
special
live.
guest, Wendy. Wendy, do you want to read your sign? Give it up.
To Bear, we all say, if it's so safe, drink it!
A little comedy up in there. All right. So next we have Alexandra Munoz. She is an independent toxicologist and a leading voice fighting Bayer's pesticide immunity legislation. She provides testimony on the carcinogenicity. Can't talk. It's getting late. No? Of glyphosate at state legislators as she advocates on behalf of future generations. Give it up.
Here's the truth that they were hiding. Glyphosate breaks your DNA.
I'm Alexandra Munoz. I'm an independent toxicologist, and I've spent the last year in state houses fighting Bayer's immunity bills. Monsanto has waged war on scientists like me who dare to say what I'm about to say. Today, on the steps of the Supreme Court, I'm going to say it anyway. Roundup causes cancer, and glyphosate is a carcinogen. Glyphosate, the chemical sprayed on our food, on our parks, on the grass your children roll in, is a carcinogen. Monsanto knows, they've known for decades, and lied to regulators in writing on purpose over and over again. And here's the truth that they were hiding. Glyphosate breaks your DNA. It causes DNA double-strand breaks, the kind of damage that can turn into non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Hundreds of thousands of Americans have been diagnosed with cancer linked to their product. And in all that time, all that suffering, Monsanto refused to do the one thing that they could have done, put a warning label on the product. And right now, inside of the Supreme Court, Monsanto Bayer is probably twisting the truth, saying that the EPA has reviewed the safety of glyphosate hundreds of times and that their product doesn't cause cancer. But I looked into the data the EPA is using, and it's from the 90s. EPA is using animal studies from the 80s and 90s that Monsanto submitted to say that it doesn't cause cancer. And where's the warning about how glyphosate is found in 80% of pregnant women's urine and that it can alter sexual development? Did you know that pesticides can hijack hormones and destroy your fertility? Why do you think sperm counts are down by 50%? Pesticides and other toxic chemicals that should be regulated by the EPA are playing a huge role in the declining health and fertility in our nation. So if you want those things fixed, chemical exposures have to be reduced, and warning labels have to tell parents when chemicals can sterilize their children. But the EPA is captured by Big Ag and Big Chem. And the result is that parents aren't being warned about which pesticides give their kids cancer. And that matters because today, if the court rules in favor of Monsanto, then all of those labels that are missing warnings will become a liability shield for every pesticide company. That means over 57,000 pesticide products already on the market, and all future pesticides will be shielded from liability. And we're not just talking about farm chemicals, we're talking about chemicals used in the homes, like disinfectants, bug sprays, and your pet's flea and tick collars. This case is all about all of those chemicals getting immunity from failure to warn lawsuits. If the court rules for Monsanto, then they can sell you a product they know is harming your family without a warning, and you will have no recourse. That is not acceptable. We no longer consent to a system built on lies told by the pesticide industry. We no longer consent to corporate capture of our regulatory agencies. We no longer consent to poisons being sold without warning labels. It's time for the people over poison. Yeah!
But this spring, we faced an issue.
Amazing. Next up, we have Daniel Andrews. He is the co-founder and CEO of Captains for Clean Water. He is a fishing guide who walked away from his career to advocate for water quality. Give it up.
They would have allowed those companies to take us to court with one-way attorney fees. If they were to win,
some of y'all may be wondering why I'm here today. The fisherman from Florida. I've spent the last decade of my life working on the largest ecosystem restoration project ever undertaken on this planet, restoring America's Everglades. We've seen tremendous progress because so many people have gotten involved. But this spring, we faced an issue in our state capital in Tallahassee, where powerful special interests, the sugar industry, the chemical industries came together and put forth a bill that would have limited our free speech, that would have allowed those companies to take us to court with one-way attorney fees. If they were to win, we would have to pay their attorney's fees. This impacted water management, pesticides, herbicides, farming practices. We came together with the movement of those folks that are concerned about the health. I met Kelly, Liana, Alex Clark, Alexandra, so many more, that we all stepped up and together we crushed that bill. It was killed. And you may not know, the state of Florida, the government of Florida, sprays 500,000 pounds of these herbicides directly into our waterways every single year. 500,000 pounds, the name of fighting invasive exotic vegetation that's thriving because of the massive amount of nutrient pollution that's entering the waterways.
We're going to do that again.
And I've got a message for everybody here on the health side. There are hundreds of thousands of fishermen and hunters that are frustrated, pissed off, and ready to join this fight with y'all. Many of them have no idea the health impacts of these in our food. Many of y'all have no idea the impacts that they see on a daily basis, watching airboats, helicopters spray the places that we love to fish, that we love to hunt in our great state. And together, this movement, we've seen the power of the people coming together. We're going to do that again. There's so much opportunity for us to expand this network, expand this coalition, and to all stand united for what is right.
All right. We lost Susan there for a sec, so
this is a marathon. Don't just show up today. Show up tomorrow. Show up next month. Show up next year. And do not stop until the version of America, the vision that we all have,
we'll just go right to
is right there in front of us. Keep fighting. Keep standing up and keep realizing there's so many of us, so many different angles that all want the same thing. God bless y'all. Thanks for being here today.
All right. Next we have up Mark Juba. Where are you at, Mark? Make sure you're close. All right. He is a fifth generation farmer. And owner of Dula Farms Organics.
Thank you. I humbly stand before you today as an organic regenerative farmer from Wisconsin. And I'm here to confront the lie that's in front of us. For decades, farmers are told food must be cheap. Chemicals and synthetic fertilizers are necessary for high yields to feed a starving world. Yet, chemicals did not solve hunger. What they did was create a cost far too high we're witnessing behind us. Every person here knows somebody with cancer, leaky gut, mental illness. This is not just policy. It's personal. It's personal. My father and I were proud chemical farmers. We really believed that we were feeding the world. We bought that hook, line, and sinker. That was our job. But fast forward to today, we've contaminated our drinking water. We've contaminated the Mississippi River, the surface water, our lakes. All of it. It's all a lie. Unfortunately. So in 2008, Dad got mantle cell lymphoma, a cancer of the Midwest. We treat for 3 long years. We treated his wounds. We treated his open wounds. He had open wounds. Knowing honey that would never heal. We would change his pick line, saline solution, so he could get the Bayer chemotherapy to save his life. And we took him to endless radiation to get something else burned off. We spent 3 long years doing $1 million. And my father lost his life at 72 years young. We transitioned 40 acres in his honor, and has flipped the script. Today, though, your fellow chemical farmers are trapped. They're trapped by the Bayer's profitable hamster wheel of death. Selling both the problem and then the solution. Scary. I'm not here just to raise concern. I'm here to actually offer you hope. We need to force the USDA to support organic farmers. Grants and loans and other things they can do. This will also pave an off-ramp for our fellow farmers that need a way out of this hamster wheel. Remember, lasting change doesn't come from Washington. It comes from you. Right? We the people. So after transitioning nearly 1,800 acres, Doodle Farms Organic proudly brings 70 million servings of organic food to you. We are not only organic, we are Rodale ROC certified, we are Demeter biodynamically grown, and we are tested free. What does that mean? John Fagan at HRA Labs for 222 pesticides, including glyphosate and parts per billion. Our popcorn is non-detectable. We can do this. Farmers, though, only grow, sadly, what you demand. Send a clear message with your shopping cart. Please put in your shopping cart healthy soil. Please grab a river and put a healthy river in your shopping cart. Please put healthy bees in your shopping cart. Okay? Honor students that can live up to their God-given potential in your shopping cart with clean food. Soldiers that can be all they can be. Okay? And love. We need love for our planet. Okay. Only you decide my landscape that I farm. When you choose regenerative organic food, you are telling your farmer to protect the soil, to protect the water, and our future generations. Not long ago, America losing our national symbol, the bald eagle. We banned DDT. So I ask you, will you have the same courage today to save our collective future? Our kids? One more thing. One more inconvenient truth. 80% of organic food is imported in this country. If we want to make real change, you must support organic food that's here in the United States. Origin is key. You have to do it. Chemical farmers even need a USDA and the USDA need an off-ramp from toxic pesticides. We need our fellow farmers to come together and fill that 80% gap of the imports, or we're never going to change. We the people hold the power. Please flip the script. Choose regenerative organic food, locally grown. Food as medicine. Food is medicine. Want to learn more about my dad and our story? Please visit us at doodlefarms.com. Thank you. And most importantly, go shop with your shopping cart. Okay? That's simple. Organic farmers fight the weeds so that you don't have to fight for your lives. Sickles over nozzles. Sickles over nozzles. Sickles over nozzles. Sickles over nozzles. Thank you.
All right, next up is Max Goldberg. He is the founder of the newsletter Organic Insider and has been called an organic sensation by the New York Times, and is one of the most influential voices in the organic food movement. Welcome, my friend Max.
Imagine going over to a friend's house for dinner. You sit down. They serve you a salad. And just as you pick up your fork, the host says, wait. Don't eat that yet. I need to sprinkle a little bit of rat poison on it. You think that person has lost their mind. You might never speak to them again. You may call the police. Because who in their mind puts poison on food. And yet this is exactly what is happening to the conventional food supply in this country. It is being sprayed with poison. Americans are eating it. And we have been trained not to think twice about it. Here's what I want you to understand. The chemical industry wants one thing from us. They want us to lose our ability to think critically. Because for decades they have gaslit us into believing that spraying poison on our food is not only safe, it is necessary. It is neither. And they did not pull this off by accident. They captured the agencies that were supposed to protect us. They funded the science that was supposed to question them, and slowly, year by year, they made the absurd feel ordinary. They made rat poison on a salad feel like lunch. That is the real harm. Not what these chemicals do to our bodies, but what the industry has done to our minds. We defeat these chemical companies by thinking critically, by asking questions, by taking back the one thing they have spent decades trying to steal from us. Our judgment. Thank you.
Amazing, Max. Thank you. Okay, we have Jason Cart next. He is a co-founder of Human Co., a shareholder and a policy advisor who has testified in front of the Texas and U.S. Congress on how to improve the safety of the U.S. food system. Please give it up for Jason Cart.
We are all brothers and sisters. Before there was a Supreme Court, before there was a corporation, before there was ever a lawsuit, there was a covenant, a sacred duty given to every human being. Take care of the land. Take care of the food and water. Take care of each other. This is the oldest law, older than any court, older than any government. This is the deepest moral instruction humanity has ever received. Every religion received the same instruction. Every prophet, every elder,
The land
We've got
is not
Susan
ours to ruin.
at the rally.
The water
Boots on the
is
ground.
not
This is
ours
outstanding.
to poison. And we should never knowingly harm
All right, Susan,
people
are you? Can you hear me? Do you get your
for
headphones on?
progress and profit. We are stewards of this awesome creation.
Hey, Mark.
Not its
We're live
owners.
on LinkedIn.
And somewhere in the last 100 years, in boardrooms and in this
Yeah,
very
sure.
city,
You're perfect. Go ahead.
we
Let me.
forgot this sacred duty. I know who is hearing me today. To the business leaders in this crowd, I speak as one of you. I have sat in those rooms and I understand the dilemma. You know what your products do to our children. You have read the studies that you do not show your shareholders. And somewhere inside of you, when you turn off the distractions, you can hear your soul begging to do the right thing. To the 9 justices in the building behind me, deciding whether the poisoned can still seek justice. The law you serve is not the highest law. The verdict you write will be read by your children and your grandchildren. To the lawmakers listening, those who will shape the next farm bill, what you sign will outlive your career, your party, and your lobbyists, but it will not outlive the children who eat the poisoned food. We all know something is deeply wrong, but there is still time for redemption. A court can correct itself, Congress can choose differently. What was broken can be rebuilt by those who are willing to do the work. You do not have to be remembered as a poisoner. You do not have to be remembered as the Congress that sold our children for better crop yields. You can be remembered as one who honors this sacred duty. I lost my dear friend James this year to colorectal cancer. This is a cancer of ingestion. He was 48 years old and he left behind a beautiful wife and 6 kids. Colorectal cancer is now the fastest growing cancer, and this stat is a DEFCON 1 alarm for those who need to wake up. This alarm is for every executive who chose the dividend over the duty. For every court that protected the prisoner, protected the poisoner from the poisoned, and for every legislator who voted away a family's right to sue. So today, in front of this court, we are not here to beg. We are here to remember our sacred duty. People over poison.
The best management practices. We have to remember, today I'm blessed. This isn't your grandpa's organic. This is the 21st century organic.
And to those who have broken this duty, in any office and in any boardroom, there is still time and there is proof that it can be done right. There are many countries doing it better, with healthier citizens to show for it. Regenerative farming without the poison works. But you have to choose. Choose the land. Choose the community. Choose to do what is right. This is the oldest law there is, and with God's help, we will all wake up and choose our children over money. Thank you.
All right, let's just bring it back here for a moment. There's something happening in there. Look, direct your attention behind me. Let's just remember why we're here. And I want to remind you, that they have lobbyists. We have people. We have people. You, all of you standing out here, maybe getting a sunburn like me. We are resilient. We're not going anywhere. Okay? So whatever's happening in there,
or an organic crop,
we are going to win.
let them farm
Okay?
without herbicides and
You guys feel me?
So
You know I don't tell a lie. We are going to win. You know how many times I've won against these? Beep, beep, beep. So many times. And I will win again with all of your help. Please share right now. We are coming to the end of our program, but we are not stopping, okay? Let's hear it from Bonnie because she is going to get you pumped up again. And let's go. Thank you for being so amazing. I love every one of you.
cover crops. So we realized that we can no longer.
Hilda, do you want to say something? All right.
Manure
I'm going to let Hilda
allowed
hear.
in the organic standard if it's coming from a CAFO.
So I'm Holistic Hilda. For 10 years, I hosted the Wise Virgins podcast for the Weston A. Price Foundation. And my third grade teacher wrote on my report card, she talks too much. There is a time to talk. You all are showing up, and this is so important. A lot of words have been spoken here today, but nothing is more important than your presence. And I would say your prayers. The energy you bring is more important than anything else. And so I want to invite you right now just to take a moment. If you're not a praying person, that's okay. Close your eyes and envision a world where children are gloriously healthy, where the land is rich and abundant in organic matter, where the skies aren't covered by pesticide clouds and geoengineering, where the plants and the animals are living their happiest and healthiest, best lives, and where they give their lives so that we can live. A place where we are all thriving. And I want to just say a little prayer as we set our intentions and energy on a planet that is no longer sprayed with pesticides that are killing the pests and us. So Lord God, we turn to you now, turning to a higher power, the one who is the Lord of all creation. We come in agreement that we, as your children, ask that you would protect this planet, that you would protect the people, those who are suffering, those who are inhaling, ingesting, taking in these pesticides. Protect them from these carcinogenic
better farmers.
Right.
And so now we regenerate
They're
only on
harming us so. And in your name we ask that these companies would cease any pockets, but we have the Lord God Almighty and truth on our side. And in Jesus' name we pray, amen. Thank you so much.
Produce your nutrients on your own farm. Okay. Right? And so what we do is we take
Christina Bear is here and she wants to speak as well. We have, she is a toxic exposure survivor, a trial lawyer, and the founder of Just Well Law. We're so excited to have Christina here. Come on, Christina, let's go.
Little pieces that microbes don't have legs.
Those are actually Jefferson's
we incorporate that in
when he
the
was
top
making the
3
case
inches
for the
of
7th
soil.
Amendment, which is the right to the
and they
trial by
rapidly chew it up.
This was a
Then
fight that our
a
founders
week
fought.
later, we call
They
this method
wanted to make
cheap
sure that in
compost.
this country
Rather than
we
doing
had
it
justice by the
field,
people. Because
field
abroad
and
there
letting our
was
microbes
criminal
in the field
jury
be
trials,
lazy, we
and then
choose
when
to
it
do
came
it
to
on the
civil,
field.
they said,
we chew up this
we're going to have
biomass,
justice
we
by
incorporate it in
oligarchy
the top
or
3
justice by the
inches,
crown,
and
but here in America we
immediately,
wanted to have
all
justice
their
by the
juices
people.
and sugars
Why is that
feed those
important?
microbes, and there's a
Because the
biological
people are
explosion
entrusted
of
with the safety
bacteria
rules in
that's
this country.
logarithmically.
That's what justice is for.
And we
That's what
make
juries
that
are
happen,
for.
then we turn
And
the
that's what they
compost
have
1
been
week
doing
later with the second
for
disking,
now
again, never
centuries.
below 3 inches deep.
Justice
Okay,
by the
then we
people.
field cultivate one
Adam
more
said the
time,
jury is the heart and lungs
then we
of
immediately
liberty.
plant.
So let's go
Let's
back
make this
because
clear.
more stuff is going to
When
be super
President
interesting
Trump
for farmers.
declares
But
immunity,
I feel like a lot of our
it's
viewers
against
are
the
maybe
Constitution.
interested in
It's a
different
declaration against the
food that they would get from
Constitution.
you.
When we try to claim immunity, we're taking the justice from the
Oh,
people.
we lost Susan.
It's contrary to our
That was
founders.
super interesting.
It's contrary
was-
to the Constitution,
and
and we won't
we are
stand for it. I
investing
represent
in the
thousands of
biology
families
of
now.
our soil.
I was sick,
Healing.
and I started a firm to help other sick families.
Our food
And what I know to be
is
true is
higher
families have
in
the right
nutrients.
to expect safe food.
And what
Families
is
have the
nutrient?
right to expect safe air. Families have the
So
right to
that's
expect
why
safe water.
Biodynamic water in
And what I
California
know to be true
that's certified by
is that it is not
9 out of
greedy
10
to
people
bring claims.
can know
It is free.
which wine was,
And there are
was grown
thousands
with
of families
biodynamic
around the
and
country who are
without.
rising up and saying no
Because
more. You will not poison us with immunity. No more. We're going to rise up. We're going to bring the claims, and we are going to prevail. So that's what this is about. Justice for the people, justice by the people, and safety for the people.
We're applying biodynamic farming principles. And this all came from Rudolf Steiner.
Amazing, yes. Way to bring it home, Christina. Okay, so I would like to invite all the speakers to come back up because we're going to hear from Bonnie right now. And I want all the speakers to come up because we are going to march. We're not done.
Farm
Are you guys
produce
done?
and
No.
food.
Are you done
Because
at home?
everybody
In your comfy spaces, share this right now, peopleversuspoison.org. We are live streaming. You can watch this later, but please share it. We need you to share this. We need everyone making this the biggest thing that people are talking about.
Then food that is organic.
So,
Organic is
Bonnie,
great,
hurry.
But
Give it to
biodynamic is the next step up. It's the nutrient density and freedom from.
This is beyond anything I thought was possible. This is just the beginning. Our fight doesn't end here. Today you heard from experts who have dedicated their lives to making sure people know that glyphosate is poison. You heard it from scientists, from lawyers, from people whose loved ones got sick and were told they could do nothing. You heard from farmers who are proving that they can grow food without toxic chemicals. You heard that there are simple solutions, like removing pre-harvest desiccation that is banned in Europe, that we can implement here in America tomorrow. So what do we do now? Because I always want to leave you with something you can actually do, right? Because how can we win? Well, this is how we win. We choose organic food at the grocery store. You fight back. When you read a label before you buy it and it says genetically engineered, bioengineered, you fight back. When you tell a friend what's in their food, you fight back. Just don't go into their pantries like I do. When you sign a petition, you fight back. When you support brands that are honest about their ingredients, you fight back. When you teach your children to ask what's in their food, you fight back. When you share the videos from today all over America and show them what can happen, you fight back. Every single one of those actions is an act of resistance.
Hold 1 second.
Every single one sends a message.
Are you able to meet
And two things I need you to do this week. I need you to go to the peopleversuspoison.org and contact your representative.
Okay, how's that?
What Mark is
They should be muted. Do you hear him now?
Hope Liam got that. It's really hard. I can't see because of the glare. I can't hear.
Right.
Shooting in the dark.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
But talking with Mark Dudla from Dudla Farms, which is not only organic and regenerative, but also biodynamic, which is absolutely freaking amazing. Like, you never run into biodynamic farmers. So who scooped you up to get you to come and talk today?
Zen Honeycut. So we've been a big supporter. Matter of fact, 1% of our retail sales goes to moms across America, Zen's group. Because, not being sexist at all, but 85% of the women still buy all the groceries in this country.
It's true.
And we need a grassroots movement to educate them so that they can feed their kids and their family and create a strong family unit, right, of power to be healthy. So moms make the difference. Moms decide how I farm my farm. I don't decide that. Moms decide.
So talk to me about what you've seen in terms of your customer base. Like, have you grown? Is there an explosion of interest? And when did it begin to happen, and what do you attribute it to?
People are waking up. People are sick of being sick.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, kids now have diseases that we didn't get until we were 50 and 60.
Correct.
And now they're in middle school. Right? We have even gender confusion. And that's chemically happening by atrazine.
Yep. Explain that.
And glyphosate.
Explain.
So you can take a frog in a beaker of water.
Right.
And add atrazine.
Right.
And it will change sexes.
And atrazine, for viewers who may not be familiar with that word, explain what atrazine is.
Is a herbicide that's largely a broadleaf weed killer. So at a low rate, it will leave all the grass, but it will kill all the broadleaf weeds.
Okay. So we got an herbicide called atrazine. And tell me again what happens if I'm a frog and you douse me in atrazine. What will I do as a result?
If you're a female, you'll go to a male, and if you're male, you'll go to a female. And it is possible to have halfway in between, and they can actually even reproduce without ever having sex.
And is that true for frogs that are not doused with atrazine?
No. So when we talk about gender confusion and what's going on today, let's look at the food system.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, you are saying something, you're tiptoeing into area that a lot of people are really worried about venturing into it. And that's a fascinating piece about the frogs. Yeah. So what do you think for people who are watching, who may already be on the train with you and me, what can they do to get the word out and raise awareness of other people? Because I have written in the Substack that I gave you the title of about how I'm often stunned at people who are pretty darn educated, even physicians that I spend time with just socially, and they're going to go fill up the water thingy from the straight water, even if there's a water filter sitting right next to it. And so what do you do to kind of deal with people's complacency or their...
It's all about education, right?
Yep.
And just giving them the passion. I don't want everybody to go through the tragedy that I went through with my dad and my family, right? So I want to tell you about it so you understand. That's one of the biggest things that you can do. The other thing is, please don't believe me. For $100, you can test your urine for glyphosate.
Right. Although, why bother? We all have it.
If it comes back at 17 parts per billion, and it's a known carcinogenic, should you change?
Well, and here's the other thing I always say. When the EPA or anybody looks at any chemical, whether it is glyphosate, atrazine, you name it, they're looking at it in isolation. But guess what? The newborn babies already have 200...
Well, the surfactants aren't even included in the exposure package. And what did our oncologists who made $700,000 a year at the hospital doing trials said it was herbicides, insecticides, and degreasers.
Right.
What's a degreaser? That's Dawn soap.
Dawn dish soap.
Makes water wetter.
Yep.
And that is a package that's in every single herbicide to get through the waxy cuticle of the leaf. And we're not even testing that with the active ingredient.
Exactly. So for people watching and listening and just trying to get ideas about where you're going to clean up your kitchen and your home, Environmental Working Group has been around forever. They are online, EWG. They rate every single product you can imagine: food, shampoo, deodorant, household cleaners, sunscreen, in terms of safety, in terms of carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, and any other things that are known to harm human health. So you can go even just right on Amazon, look for whatever you're looking for, but add EWG verified, which is the highest label that EWG has. And if a product meets that standard, you are in great shape.
I'd like to have a shout out for EWG.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out. Shout away.
They paid for my plane ticket for me to be here.
Nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Thank you.
EWG, and then the other app is Yucca, Y-U-K-A, right on your phone. Scan the product, and it's going to tell you what it thinks about the product's safety. So you've got lots of options. What else?
That's about it. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
And maybe one time we get together and we do a podcast.
We can feature.
So thank you, Mark. It was great to meet you. Great to meet you.
We can do this.
Yep. One hopes, right? One hopes. All right, folks. So that was Mark, the farmer. Liam, are we still live, or am I just talking to myself?
We're still live. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you if I walk away from the crowd. So anyway, that was Mark.
Okay,
And
so maybe we could one day feature Mark's farm on a broadcast. I have his website. I've been
and it sounds
doing
like
the website.
So 2008 is when he made his transition to organic farming, and the fact that he was doing biodynamic farming, that is something that nobody's doing, even with all the organic farmers. So he really knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled that he's mentoring other farmers. I'm thrilled that he's connected to EWG and they flew him out here. So Liam, unless you have a better idea, I'm going to walk over to where the speakers were, although they have concluded. And I guess I'll just see if there's anybody else who looks like they want to chat for a minute.
Absolutely. Liam, and while you're... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, and I'll continue. There's still a live feed going, so I'll feature the live feed, and then when you find somebody, I'll just bring you on. Okay?
Liam, I see our friend Del Bigtree. Let me go kind of mosey in that direction and see if I can get a word.
Awesome.
In fact, if I just switch my camera, you'll be able to see what's going on.
All right. You're a master of the technology. I'm impressed.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes, selfies.
All right.
Let's go.
Right.
Del, hi, I'm Susan, and we met in Austin at
Susan.
the Brownstone.
Yeah.
I've got Liam here, and he has about 10,000 additional viewers.
Okay.
Is there anything you would want to? And which way am I going here? Do I need to turn myself around? No, I'm gonna turn you around. Do you want me to film it for you? Sure.
There you go. Perfect. Great.
Gotta do that.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Why don't you stay in here so we get Supreme Court behind
Yeah.
us?
Yes.
Get the
There we
location.
go.
There we
Me
go.
and Mr. Bigtree.
All right.
Fantastic. Looking great.
Well, I'm Del Bigtree. I am the host of The High Wire. I am the CEO of Informed Consent Action Network. I was Robert Kennedy Jr.'s Director of Communications. We're here in front of the Supreme Court today for the People versus Poison rally. Inside that building today, the Department of Justice attorneys are siding with Bayer and Monsanto in a case to get the Supreme Court to give them liability protection so that they can never be sued again for their product that has already lost $11 billion in lawsuits to 100,000 different people. There's hundreds of thousands more lined up. This is not how our system is supposed to work. When a product is injuring you, when it's making you sick, your government doesn't step up and say, we're going to protect the company that's making you sick. That's what's happening today. We're not standing for it. Hopefully the Supreme Court, makes the right decision, because this would be a terrible precedent for all of the other chemicals that poison us. Just think about all the drugs that get recalled, all of the things that hurt us that get recalled. They get recalled after lawsuits. If Monsanto gets away with this, every other industry is going to try and use this as precedent. I've been approved by the FDA. My product made it through the FDA. I shouldn't be sued. I have news for you. Every product that gets sued, every product that gets recalled was once accepted and passed by the FDA or the EPA. So to say that once it gets through that, once it's lied about its science, once it managed to, move around and play a shell game with our government, once it is got a corporate capture system where they've got their own employees working for us, if they get away with it and they manage to pass it by a regulatory agency, then they should have liability protection. That's what's being decided today. That would be insane. That would be the absolute end and destruction of this nation. And what I've said, Department of Justice lawyers are supposed to be fighting for the justice of the people. They work for us. This is a government of, for, and by the people. What are you doing fighting for an industry against all the citizens here, our bodies, and our right to clean food? This is turning our government on its head. It's a terrible day for this administration. It's a terrible day for our government right now, but it's okay. We're going to survive because more and more people recognize the truth. More and more people are talking about this. More and more people are telling their friends, do not eat that food that is a GMO, that's got glyphosate sprayed all over it. So it's our job as citizens to keep going no matter what this government does, no matter how corrupt it gets, the will of the people will survive. So use your voice, step out, take the next right step. Don't let anything that's happening in Washington, D.C. stop you from telling your truth. The louder we get, the prouder we get, the closer we get to taking back our government, wrapping our arms around it, and that's what we're doing here today.
Before you go.
Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah.
That anybody should watch. What might
Thank you for the plug. You can watch, I think, the best documentary I've ever made, an inconvenience study. Go to an inconveniencestudy.com. It's already 100 million views worldwide. The study at the center of it is being debated by parliaments all over the world. In fact, I'm going on an international tour because of it. So you can check it out, watch it for free. But more than anything, you have one right. I always say I'm a one-issue voter. I vote for the right to speak freely. You have a right to free speech. If you do not use that right, you will lose it. So use your voice, step up, be loud, be proud, be American. Thank you. Hey.
Oh, right. That was outstanding, Susan. That was fantastic. Great.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
that was
scroll a little bit over here so we can chat, Liam. So thank you again for filming. Yeah, that's pretty cool that he was here. And man's an impassioned speaker. I mean, if I didn't know what was going on, and a lot of people don't, Liam. I know that within our circles, people are so aware, but I was talking to somebody on the way down here, and I said I was going to this. No awareness of anything. When we got to glyphosate, there was an awareness. But when I simply talked about, no, I'm sorry, the other way around. When we got to Roundup, there was an awareness. But prior to Roundup, the person had not heard of glyphosate, had not heard of the People Against Poison rally, had not heard about lawsuits about failure to warn, hadn't heard about any of it. So I think we have a real problem where anybody who's aware is enraged, as they should be. But
Absolutely.
We have such a vast number of people who are tootling along with the assumption that the government's got their back and anything that would be sold on the supermarket shelf must be good for me because it's food, right? So I wish we could get ahead of the ignorance in the true sense of the word curve and just sort of lift people up out of the darkness and have them be aware of what is going on. That one of the things that I put last night, Lee, and you tell me your thoughts, but to me, this is no different than the Sackler family. The Sackler family who brought us the opioid epidemic via Purdue Pharma, they weren't disciplined at all. Their company, their corporation was disciplined and had to pay some fines. And I'm going to guess that the fines were a lot less than their revenue. But the family itself is walking around with no consequence other than perhaps a slightly tarnished reputation because they did what they did and distributed OxyContin everywhere and let everyone believe that it was not addictive. FDA, of course, fully complicit with that. DEA fully complicit. DEA raised the legal limit of how much oxycodone could be produced in this country, something insane. I want to say 36 times over the 20 years that the opioid crisis was unfolding. So if we look at the broad strokes, it has happened before, it is happening again, it continues to happen. And by it, what I mean is our government letting atrocious things happen to us. We're the ones that pay the consequences with our cancer, our neurological issues, Parkinson's, dementia, you name it. And the people who perpetrated it, who knew when they were doing it, that their products were harmful and declined to put a warning label on, and sometimes lied, manipulated, twisted, and claimed that their product was safe. What our government tends to do is say, peace out, go on your way. I don't understand it. I'm going to draw a breath, Liam, and let you talk.
Oh, right. Yeah. the outstanding interview. We can maybe do a deep dive on Del Bigtree, right? That was his name, Del Bigtree.
Del Bigtree, yes. I can kind of wander back over and see what he is doing now. He was scooped up
Well,
by
it's
people
okay.
who
You know,
wanted,
you can, yeah, whatever
I see him.
you feel is.
He is.
And so, yeah, and the farmer also. I forget his name. Mark Duda. Mark Duda. We can do a deep dive on his farm practices. That would be like outstanding to if he'd be up for it to do sort of to see how he grows his.
I can hear you a bit,
crops.
Liam, but it's tough with the competing noise. You're talking about Mark, the
Yeah.
farmer that we spoke with.
Yeah, so maybe we could do the people that you're meeting, right? We can follow up later.
Yes.
And do.
I got his business card. He has mine, so I'm going to let the man fly back to wherever he lives, give him a day or two to get settled, and then I will pounce and see if we can schedule time with him, because he sounds like he's been
Awesome.
at this game a long time, the game of realizing what's going on and trying to figure out ways to get his food cleaned up. So I would really like to have him on.
Okay, great. And if you want to take a rest, if you want to take a break because, you're holding the camera, there's a physical sort of quality to what you're doing. You're going to take a break. I'll get back to the live feed. And then when you want to come back on, we find somebody, you come on and we'll focus on you instead of the live feed. Sound like a plan?
Is it perfect? Is it jam in our
Okay.
water?
See you soon.
Had in Hawaii? Is it lead in the water like they had in Flint? What's next? So just people invited. Stop. Is that what you needed?
Okay, we're here with Alex Clark. I just want to show some fashion forward rally gear over here. I'd intern to Erin Brockovich when I'm angry.
I said in my speech today, I said every single household in America now knows what glyphosate is, and every single mother just turned into Erin Brockovich.
It's so true. Why is this such a bipartisan issue? Like, why are so many different people coming together, do you think?
Because we cannot. We have no choice. And if we are poisoned by these chemicals, right? So you can make a choice of what body wash you use. If you're going to vaccinate your children or not. If you want to use a certain sunscreen or not. Like those, you can choose between different things. When it comes to pesticides, they are forced upon us through our air, our water, and you cannot get away from it. Even if you don't spray your own yard with a yard treatment company, right? And you've got dandelions, you've got floor, but your neighbor is spraying. That's all drifting. With the wind into your yard and affecting your children. It is on our food. You cannot wash it off with produce unless you can afford organic. Which, by the way, a lot of Americans cannot. And so you're telling the American people simultaneously, these are the new dietary guidelines. Eat your fruits and vegetables. But by the way, you may not be able to afford organic. You're going to have to eat glyphosate. That's not acceptable. And everyone, Democrat, Republican, moderate, independent, agrees on that front. And honestly, it's completely common sense. It's a common sense issue. It's a common sense issue. It should be common sense to say, if you are going to insist on poisoning us, then we should be able to sue you if you make us sick.
So whatever happens, what do you think? What is your advice to people? No matter what the outcome?
Well, no matter what the outcome, we have to keep speaking up and doing our best. And I mean, we overturned Roe v. Wade, right? Who knows? Who knows what's in the future? Who knows? As soon as we stop talking, they keep winning.
And what is your message to people in the Supreme Court making these decisions right now?
That you are talking about children being on the line, and these children cannot get away from these pesticides at their parks, at their schools, at their cereal that they're given in the morning, even in the morning, vegetables they are inundated with it, and they are sick, and you have farmers and families that are gravely concerned about having legal recourse, being able to sue if they are made sick by a foreign chemical company. That's the biggest thing. These are foreign chemical companies who don't even make the same formulas for their own countries or put it on their own people, but they make it and they send it to America to use on our people. That's biochemical warfare. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Good. It's great turnout.
Yeah, good turnout.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right. You want me to just talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot to say. So we're here at the Supreme Court, and actually, the thing that struck me the most is the conversation I had with Thomas Massey, who spoke here at the rally, and that conversation was about how we can make a difference and truly have meaningful action on this issue. And I asked him one question. I said, "Can we really win this?" And he said, "We can. We can win this when the people actually use their voice and they're talking to their legislators and their congressmen and making sure that and making them accountable. That's how we can win this issue and how we can make sure that we make sure." So I thought that was really profound. And then also he said too that there's a possibility that he might lose his re-election race to run for Congress. So I think what's crazy about that is Thomas Massey and all the people here are a representation of being for the people, and it's a reflection of if someone like that is their race, they're standing for the people. There's something wrong with our system. I think it's broken, and it takes us people making sure that we're holding everyone accountable. So we're the ones that fix it. We can't leave it to a congressman or leave it to even the Supreme Court to do what only we can do. And that's the message is that the people are the most powerful. The most powerful voice, most powerful action. It's us moving any issue and making sure that we're protecting our kids, making sure that we have clean water, clean air, clean food, clean soil. And it was phenomenal to see everybody come together. And it wasn't about party lines. A lot of times these issues become very politicized. And what was amazing is it wasn't about party lines. It was about. So I love it. It was phenomenal. It was really powerful. Amazing.
Thank you.
All right, we're here. I see some more high wire here, so I decided to come over and see what brings everyone over. So, what are we doing here today?
Well, we're fighting versus poison, but also for our kids and grandkids of humanity. New York.
Pennsylvania.
Why is this such an important issue?
My kids and grandkids. I have, 2 grandkids and then my children, trying to spread the word and want them to be healthy. And I mean, what we put in our body is so important. That's our medicine, and we feed our body the right things. We're going to be healthy. This is huge. It's a huge time in our life, and I want to make sure that they're aware of what these companies are, capable of, and not to trust the system, not to trust the labels, and ask questions.
How do you guys fight back in your own personal lives?
I buy organic.
I'm sorry. It's organic because you like she said, food is medicine, and you can't without food, and if without food, and you're going to be poisoned, and you're just going to be fighting chronic conditions. So you have to eat organic, but it's more expensive. So it shouldn't be that way. You choose your health, or you choose paying your bills. It's not fair. And then for them to get away with poisoning, they're trying to let them just slide and not for people who have already been damaged. It's deceptive marketing too. It's not even telling you that it's poisonous, that it can cause cancer. You can pick it up at Home Depot and just spray it on your lawn, and your kids are out there, your dog's out there. That's your own use of it, but we don't have any control. I don't have any grow my own food, so we don't have control over what we're eating. Except if you buy organic, and even then, it's
You guys notice in your own lives, like the rise of cancer?
Absolutely.
That anyone have a family member or a personal story or a personal
A family member that lived near a horse farm that they sprayed pesticide. They don't know what it was from, but we believe he died at 59. That contributed to it for sure. And that was all around us. I mean, we have it sprayed in communities all the time. With apartment complexes near us that are spraying us. They have no clue. They have absolutely no clue what we're talking about. So just getting the word out there is this has helped us get more excited. Even more excited. Sometimes we look crazy, but we don't care. We speak it. So it's the truth and make people aware of it. What's that?
Is there?
What's that?
Are you surprised by the crowd out here today?
Not at all. Not at all.
What would you like to say?
I would like to tell all the kids out there that they should also join the parents and join in the fight because it's for their future.
Why is this so important to get involved now?
I feel like a lot of kids could have a big impact on the subject matter, and the more kids, the merrier.
So you think kids need to start speaking out?
Definitely, 100%.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a blessing. What a blessing. What a blessing. Thank you. We love you. Hey guys, ready to head over to the Capitol. We're going to try to go to the Rules Committee meeting at the House, whether there's an amendment, whether the Farm Bill will make it in or not. We're trying to strip all the pesticide liability language. Let's go. All right, we're going to be going in. Groups of 30. So people who want to get in.
Please stay on the sidewalk. Stay on the sidewalk.
You're going to the Capitol. You're going to the Rules Committee right now. I'm here. I'm really good. JW, you ready? You ready to take us? Okay, great. All right. This way. We're gonna go this way.
Bonnie.
Go this way.
Yeah.
No signs will be allowed. No food, no water, please.
Bonnie, tell us how you're feeling.
So we're going to the Capitol right now. We're just leaving the Supreme Court. We heard that there was a little delay on the Supreme Court case. That it could taking a little longer. That might be good news. I don't know. I don't want to count my chickens. Maybe the Trump administration decided not to bear. I don't know.
How do you feel about all these people supporting you and following us?
I mean, this is pretty insane. We're here right now, marching to the Capitol, making our voices heard. It's people versus poison. No chant. We gotta follow the rules. This is how it is. This is going to be a day that goes down in history. We are going to make our voices heard. We're going to be going this way. And only a few of us will be able to get inside.
Everybody file in on the line.
Okay, we're going to get in on the line here. Only a few of us will be able to get inside. This is where the march ends today. But this is not where our fight ends. This is going to be the start of something beautiful. Where this conversation continues here in Washington with our lawmakers. And we are going to hold them accountable. We're going to see which lawmakers are truly on the side of the people, or are they on the side of poison. Thank you so much. Everybody at home. Go to the poison.org. Sign up there. RSVP like you were there. Get you on the email list. You can press a button that says take action and contact your representative. If you're watching this live, contact them today and tell them no pesticide liability shields. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marnie. Good. Is it good? So, okay, great.
Hey.
Study, well worth a watch. You can find it on YouTube. But at any rate, I was able to share with Dell the idea that Liam and I and Bob Schwartz, who Liam and I just interviewed on our podcast yesterday, had come up with in conjunction with the people at the American Society for Pharmacovigilance, that there were enough stories coming out when we did the day in DC, the National Adverse Drug Event Awareness Day, that I'm pretty sure another documentary needs to be made, whether it's by Dell, by you, Liam, or the two of you together, in which we have Bob tell his story. We have the mother who spoke at the National Adverse Drug Event Awareness Day, who had lost her daughter. Not even a suicide, just the drug straight killed her. The drug was given to that daughter when she was in a psychiatric facility. Not only was the mother's consent not obtained, the parents were not informed that the daughter was being administered a psychotropic. So there's enough horrifying stories out there, and people who are willing to tell them, which is so crucial, that I think if we make that documentary, we can raise awareness about a really serious thing that is causes an awful lot of psychotic episodes and people to snap and commit murder or suicide or attempt suicide, all of which are devastating.
Yes, absolutely. And what you were doing was courageous. There was an entire filming team that was there. They followed the food babe, Vari, I forget her last name, but
you're talking about, I don't remember her last name.
Right, and so they followed her to the actual steps of the Capitol, and they couldn't chant, they couldn't have food, or they couldn't have signs, so it was cool. There were restrictions, and they ended the broadcast there. But what we were doing was with just just one person. They were doing with an entire team. So I thought that was pretty outstanding. Your courage and your tenacity to get out in there. Just with you on a phone, it was really great.
Well, I know that I annoyed some people around me, so I need to get my tech situation ironed out, but my husband, who used to be in a band, is on it. So hopefully, Liam, by the time we do whatchamacallit on Wednesday, the Maha meeting, hopefully the lighting will be better. I should be in one place, not moving around, and hopefully things will be looking and sounding better for viewers.
All right. We've been on for 2 hours. Do you want to come back on StreamYard and say a few words, or should we just end the broadcast like we have it?
I'm going to take my cue from you because you've done a lot more of this than I have. What I've got here is the event is largely concluded, and there are people who are milling and just chatting. So if you think that viewers would be interested in that, I'm happy to go live again. And let's
go ahead. And the live stream is over, so I'm gonna sort of take over the the broadcast. I'll chat with the viewers, and then when you come back on, we'll do one last session, and then we'll call it a day. Sounds good?
Sounds good. So just let me know what I'm doing. So you're not doing a new StreamYard link. So we're not doing video, or
No, you just use the same link. Just hop on with the same link.
Same link. Okay. I thought the same link died after 2 hours. But you could go back and use it again.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. I'm gonna hop back on the link, and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, great. See you soon. Bye. All right, so that was Susan Morodo on the scene. It's so courageous of her to just go in and rock the free world like that. You know, lots of people talk. You know, they say, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. And it's refreshing to find someone like Susan who chomping at the bit. She shows up when she says she's going to show up. And so she went to Washington, D.C. for this live rally, The People versus Poison. And so let's look at a little promotion here at what the People versus Poison have to say. All right.
For decades, Bayer and Monsanto have poisoned our food and our families with glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup. And now, facing over 170,000 cancer lawsuits worth $16 billion, Bayer wants the Supreme Court to bail them out. It's time for the people to take a stand. On April 27th, we will march together at the Supreme Court. America demands equal justice under the law, with no immunity for chemical companies. It's The People versus Poison, April 27th in Washington, D.C.
Okay, looks like we've got Susan back on the scene. Susan, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Doing pretty well, and things are largely wrapped up. We've got people dispersing, but I will turn my camera around and just show people what we're looking at, that we've just got a few scragglers still. And then if we come over here,
your camera work is super steady. Do you have a device, or are you just holding it with your hand?
No device. This is just my hand. I guess I didn't
Wow.
have excess of coffee this morning. So,
Bravo. Outstanding.
yeah, right. So just a few hangers on, checking things out.
So how many people would you estimate were there? Under 500, over 500, 1,000?
Oh gosh, I am terrible with numbers, so why don't we go to somebody else and ask what they think? How does that sound?
Okay, sounds great.
Do you have any idea how many people were here today? Got somebody asked, like if you had to ballpark it, just I'm sorry?
Team D.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Well, have a great day. All right, well, I struck out.
You're fearless, Susan. You're fearless.
Oh my goodness. Well, Liam, as we have said, this is what happens if you have an unfettered 1970s childhood. You know how to go up to strangers and talk. And we need to bring that back for children.
That's right.
I wonder, Liam, how would we do that? How on earth could we get children to...
Just embarrass them by our presence. They're like, oh no, not the old fogies. Let us take charge. We'll do what you guys are doing.
There's actually a whole, I didn't even come up with it. There was a newspaper article, I think it was in the Washington Post, about a way of treating childhood anxiety. And it was basically for the parents, stop hovering, send your kid down to walk 3 blocks to their friend's house without you watching or driving them there. Send them into the convenience store to get a snack, but they have to pay in cash, and they have to actually speak to the cashier, and they have to come back and tell you one fun fact about the cashier. So that they all will do things on apps and screens, but they are terrified to go to a person and ask a question, or God forbid that you make a phone call and you can't see the person and you say, hello, what time you close today, or whatever it is. So, yeah, I'm working on it.
Life is all...
This is where we plug the ducks.
It's all about connections. What's that?
This is where we plug the ducks, where we talk about the Once Upon a Duck business.
That's right. Once Upon a Duck. I've got it right here. Once Upon a Duck is Susan's Substack. Also 30 years down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
And you can find her at therapywithsusan.com.
Correct.
And right now she's a
ZocDoc. If you go right on ZocDoc, you can see when I have openings for therapy. In-persons are Mondays and Thursdays, obviously not today. But the duck business,
right.
just real quick, I'm a therapist. I've been a school counselor forever. And the duck business is a sort of game, interactive, whatever it is for children. But it is, in all seriousness, I'm trying to encourage children to do the things that will make them more resilient and strengthen their brain health. So reading, playing with friends, going outside, sleeping enough, all of that. All right, enough on that. Let's go to you, Liam. What are you working on today? I know you have a lot of projects.
All right, just doing the live broadcast was a tremendous technical sort of success for us because we had a live stream. We had different audio things that we had to manage and different we were just live hitting it. And so in those moments, you have to be sort of technically prepared. I was able to get lower thirds on your speaker. So I got who they were, got their names underneath them, so it looked as professional as possible. So if there's anyone out there who needs this type of professionalism, you know where to come. So just shout out to me on LinkedIn.
Those on the tech stuff, and like I said, Michael's going to try to up my game on the the lighting and the sound.
Awesome.
So Liam, if people were looking for you, or if they wanted to know, where would one, if one happened to be acquainted with the king of LinkedIn, what could they hire him to do that would help their life, their business, their world?
We're in a trust apocalypse. When you go live, there's no question. You are who you are. Failure, success, whatever happens during the live, you know it's not AI. You can talk to the person. You can comment. It's it's essential today. If you don't have a live presence and you're a company, a brand, whatever,
so Lee, what would you say
you're
to the
behind.
Person who says, I can't do that. That's for like real people who have like who know what they're doing and their business is bigger, and I'm just a little guy and I would be terrified to go live, whatever that even means. What would you say to that person? Because basically I was that person.
I would say let me do the heavy lifting.
You would say what? I'm sorry?
And let me do the work. I'll do all the work.
Okay, so
that's why it's so much.
You know how handymen sometimes say no job too small? Does a person
Right.
have to have a corporation of a certain size or a certain monetary value to access you?
Not at all. Not at all.
So if they were just looking to do a quick 40-minute video to slam onto their website to tell people how great they are, they could come to you?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Okay, what if they need it super fast because business is slow and they need to drum up business right now? How fast can you work?
Well, they have to contact me quick because things are heating up.
So Liam, I heard you
All
have
right.
a really good assistant that makes things go extra fast in your world.
Yes. Working to leverage AI as much as humanly possible. So,
that's great.
All right, Susan.
All right.
This has been. I have on the screen. Do you see the scroll? The People versus Poison with Susan Morodo. So,
honestly, the person that made an impact on me, or a different way of saying it, if you went to someone's house for dinner and they put the delicious food in front of you and it smelled great and it looked great, and then they said, pause 1 minute, I didn't yet spray it with glyphosate or rat poison, would you still want to eat it after they had sprayed it? That's a great way to put it. So why is everybody doing that? Why does everybody go to the regular grocery store and buy not from the organic aisle? Why, Leo?
Right. And also the next favorite takeaway I got was when I can't remember, Mark, the guy with the organic farm, he said nutrients is flavor. Nutrients is flavor.
Yes,
nutrients is flavor. How brilliant is that?
Well, and also the business about the wine was interesting because I did start having us buy organic wine because I thought,
Well, I'm working so hard to not take in chemicals, and grapes are on the dirty dozen list, meaning that of all the produce items out there, they are among the top 12 for the level of toxicity and heinousness and dangerousness of the chemicals used. But I did not know that, what did he say? Either 8 or 9 out of 10 people can tell the difference taste-wise between a biodynamic wine and a non-biodynamic. So I think, Liam, we should test it out. We need volunteers, maybe Liam
Absolutely.
can help. We are going to line up the wines, and we're going to see, and maybe Mark can help us figure out where to get the wines.
Brilliant idea.
Crowns, and we're gonna have some wine and have fun and figure out which wine is best.
That's right. Live on LinkedIn.
Live on LinkedIn with the king.
Yes.
Because
all right, Susan.
Whatever she wants, but we all know the throne is taken, right?
That's right. You got that right. So it was brilliant. It was outstanding, Susan. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And check us out on Wednesday. We'll be streaming Maha Action Hub Live.
I will see you on Wednesday.
All right, everyone. See you on Wednesday.
Right,
take care. Bye-bye.